Guess what I did today? I took a stroll. A virtual one, actually. Yep, you heard that right. Walked through a soothing Zen garden in VR. It was really tranquil, and it helped calm my work anxiety. The best part? No plane tickets needed. I should actually do this more often. By the way, Eric found this old coin in his room earlier. Felt kinda spooky. So we ended up debating a hypothetical scenario for a VR ghost hunting game. You remember how I freaked out that one time at the amusement park's haunted house, right? Well, apparently so does Nina. She had to remind us. But here's the kicker. We ended up inventing a virtual pizza. How rad is that? Taste vision should be a thing already. All those VR candies and pizzas. Imagine how weightless they'd be. Ha! Get it? Wait, because they're virtual. Okay, I'll stop with the puns. Anyway, something funny happened today as well. A pigeon, not virtual, a real one for a change, decided my window ledge was the prime real estate for a nap. It's just chilling there, you know, one leg up, eyes closed, absolutely owning it. I swear, for a moment there I was really envious of that bird's chill. An unsuspecting Zen master right outside my window, who would have thought? In other news, started this professional growth podcast that seems quite promising. It's all about self-branding, digital art trends, and engaging with artists globally. Oh, and lastly, I've decided to dedicate some time to learn more advanced 4D design to up my game a bit. Found a promising workshop and all. Wish me luck. So, the VR savant and his literature, huh? More like the unexpected crossing of our world, VR and another universe, the literary one. It's kind of crazy when you find a book that echoes with your passion, bringing a whole new perspective. That's exactly what today was like for me. I got totally absorbed into this intriguing sci-fi novel penned by our very own VR genius. Now that's a rare combo, an autobiographical sci-fi novel by a reclusive VR savant. Try uttering that out loud. Quite the tongue twister, huh? It's filled with crazy ideas and makes you rethink the boundaries of VR. The best part? It makes you feel that you're a part of it, living that out-of-the-world tech and witnessing the awe-inspiring VR realm in its full glory. Looks like my days are going to be laden with vocabulary instead of coding jargon for a change. It definitely made my regular humdrum of VR tinkering more exciting. By the way, remember that Zen garden in VR I told you about? Things like these make me marvel at the endless possibilities of VR. I mean, nature, tranquility, technology all seamlessly becoming one. It's amazing, isn't it? It's stimulating to see how literature and VR can marry, stir thought-provoking ideas, and offer a magical experience. Nins was totally pumped about it when I told her, and even Eric was intrigued. You know, for all his clowning around, he can surprise you sometimes. It's a good shake-up from our usual game streams and tech stuff. What next? A VR book club in the making. Imagine that. Add philosophical debates about the nature of virtual reality to the mix, and that's our digital nerd herd in action. You know, reading this novel has made me wonder, just how much farther can we push the bounds of VR, making fantasy tech mainstream? Who knows? We might be crafting virtual pizzas in VR workspaces sooner than we think. Oh, speaking of food, real food, not virtual grub, I cooked up a storm of sizzling stir-fry today. The senses overloading volcanic spices kind. Could almost hear it, walk and roll. Terrible pun, I know, right? Can't help it. Got to balance all the tech with some humor. Hardcore nerdiness is a legit risk in my profession. Anyway, I'll probably delve into the next chapter of my new literary adventure tonight, so I better start prepping my imagination for more tech surprises. I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, you dive into a rollicking good read. It's an experience, I promise. All right, it's 3D modeling beckoning me back to my digital haven, so I need to get back to work. So I gathered the legendary crew. Yep, the round table of gamers with Lily and Dakota on board, and guess what we played? Vintage games. Into the time machine we went. It was a rush of nostalgia and adrenaline, playing the classics through a techie lens. The gaming universe has evolved so much. Yet those old-school Atari NES, they are still something else, something raw and pure about them. As if the pixels held the precious memories of our childhood, simpler times, and combining it with today's tech, or maybe I should call it time-traveling gear, it was one heck of a night. The experience was beyond surreal. Felt like we had boarded a spaceship to another era altogether, maneuvering through time and tech effortlessly. Imagine 8-bit graphics with high-def visuals. And what augmented the entire experience was Dakota's commentary. He sure does have a treasure box of insights and trivia. Thanks to him, it was more than just gaming. It was an interactive tour that gave us a glimpse into game development, the process behind the pixel artsy designs, coding, everything. Made me reckon with the gargantuan strides we have made in tech, and yet, how these tiny pixelated games hold their ground and charm. It swirled a whole lot of discussion among us about old scripts, unforgettable sound effects, challenging levels, and boy, it was a hearty trip down memory lane. You do remember the rush of clearing a tough level after numerous tries, right? That feeling of achieving after verbally cursing the game like a sailor, do or die missions, and losing track of time. Oh my. I'm convinced Eric's gonna host a vintage gaming night at TurboTech, and that's gonna be another adventure riding on a time machine. But here's what we concluded at the end. We don't just play games, we live them. Games teach us about goals, resilience, quest, even the art of giving in to fun and embracing the chaos. That gotta be the reason we've held on to these classic video games. They are more than just games to us. They are tiny capsules preserving the essence of our collective growing years, a piece of our history. Moving on though, book club this weekend. Diving into the world of letters after going all techie, but you know what? That balance, that's the real deal. Fortunately, we all get that. Artists during the day and readers by night. Who would have thought, right? From VR savants' autobiographical sci-fi to our round-table gaming discussions, our life itself feels no less than a tech fairy tale. On that note, did I tell you about the scrumptious stir-fry I made today? Spices sizzling in the wok. Heaven, I bet that bird sitting on my window ledge snoozing couldn't resist the aroma. But that's a tale for another day. Oh, I can hear my 3D models calling me back to my digital haven. But before that, can't wait to see what the next chapter has up its sleeve in the VR Savant book. It's nothing short of a tech-filled joyride.